All week, Jewish leaders have been responding forcefully to the deaths of 2 Israeli embassy staffers in Washington, D.C. And today, Mayor Brandon Johnson faced some harsh criticism from a leading Jewish group. Regina Waldrop reports that the Anti-Defamation League wants the mayor to do more to stand up to hateful rhetoric and actions.
If you're the mayor, you stop appointing and elevating people who have a history of being hostile to members of the Jewish community.
The Anti-Defamation League expressing frustration with Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. On Thursday, Johnson condemned the killings of 2 Israeli embassy staffers in Washington, D.C. He also dismissed questions he's been sympathetic to extreme groups.
Extremism on both ends are detrimental and harmful to our humanity. I am not connected to any level of extremism on the right or the left.
Johnson is facing criticism for elevating Reverend Mitchell Johnson to lead Chicago Public Schools last year. He later resigned at the request of the mayor because of controversial social media posts, some of them deemed anti-Semitic.
The anti-Semitism isn't what doomed him. It was the 9/11 conspiracies. The anti-Semitism was known for multiple days, and the mayor continued to allow him to have the job.
A statement Reverend Johnson sent to NBC5 reads in part, "I've served and represented the Jewish community by working with the Simon Wiesenthal Center Advisory Group in Chicago. When Jewish students were the subject of potential violence, I organized faith leaders in Chicago and Washington, D.C. on their behalf. These are not the actions of anti-Semitism." Also mentioned at today's press conference, Alderman Byron Sigcho Lopez,
who was part of a training program at a union where Deaf to America was taught to participants in Farsi, and he was one of the guest speakers.
We asked the alderman for his response, and he referred us to CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, which condemned the killings.
This guilt by association, they're attempting to connect the shooter to these good people and to the student protesters who are themselves nonviolent.
We reached out to Mayor Johnson for comment on the ADL's criticism. While not addressing our question directly, the spokesman sent us a statement that reads in part, he condemns anti-Semitism and all forms of hate and has consistently spoken out against anti-Semitism in Chicago. Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
Thank you, Regina.